guys, welcome to this week trade recap. In this episode, we're gonna talk about a very specific indices, the Hang Seng Index (HSI), and wanting to show you really behind the scenes because I have this opportunity on this trade to walk through with our community for the entire week for last week itself. Okay, every day we come in, we look at it, and we manage it. Okay, and I want to share with you how we do that, so that hopefully through this episode on the trade recap over here, you'll be able to understand a little bit more as to how we manage our active trade, how we protect our stops, how we trade our stops, and of course what are some of the thought process that we put in so that when we are shifting our stop loss to protect our profits, we know, are we doing it too aggressively? What are some of the factors to consider as well? Right, so I hope this video will be able to benefit for you guys as well who are looking for a certain idea as to how you can manage an active trade, especially if the trade is running in profits. How do you manage it? Right? So let's take a look at Hang Seng. Hey, really nothing much has been moving. Again, we are patiently waiting of this. The longer it takes, right? This is important. Okay, this is important. You need to have this perspective, right? Because again, what we want is we want this to come down slow, right? A correction. Okay. So the longer it takes to reach where we want to enter, the better it is. Okay. So it's a bit counterintuitive, right? Because as traders, you tend to like, why so long I haven't get in? Okay. I've placed my order. How come this trade is not triggered? Okay. A lot of traders have that perception, right? That they want and they are eager to have activity, okay? But based on the Elliott wave principles, right? We are trading we want to enter and execute our trade nearer to the end of the correction so that we can ride the impulse push, right? It becomes psychologically very easy to handle a trade. So in order for that to happen, okay, the longer it takes for the price to reach your entry, the better it is, because it means that it's actually a correction. Okay, so that part here is a bit counterintuitive, but I want you to have that perspective and understanding, right? Because this one here, if it takes very long to reach this area, which is where we want to enter, the more it signifies that this is a correction. Okay, and the higher the probability we are gonna be profitable in this trade. Okay, if this gonna just go down very fast and then you are in the trade, then the probability is not that high because it means that the price is coming down very strong. Okay, so I hope this mini lesson on like psychology here might give you some help. Okay, so that's Hang Seng. Okay, so I'm still looking for the long-term trade. Okay, long-term swing. Nothing much has changed, right? Everything is intact. Other than that, we have these three positions that we talk about, right? Hang Seng, I'm in. Okay, HSI. This was a trade last week we talked about as well, right? Okay, we're talking about entering somewhere around this region. Okay, so this trade currently right now is running. Okay, again, it's a long-term position, right? So it's a long-term swing. So you're looking for more upside, right? Of course, I'm not trading the CFD on this. I'm trading the ETF on Hong Kong. Okay, HSI. So I'm looking at like all the way up towards the high over there, right? So around 33476. Okay, so this is nothing much to really update on it. Let's just see how price is going to develop from here. Okay, so the idea again to quickly recap is this is an impulse. This is a three-wave correction that we are looking at it in terms of expanding, and from there we are anticipating another push to the upside. Okay, so this is more like a semi long-term trade, or you can see in terms of investment. Okay, Hang Seng, right? You can see we are moving off very nicely since we entered late last week, yesterday, right? We talked about this as well. So we're gonna shift this stops to break even, right? Okay, and then we're gonna let it ride and see how far this can go, right? The target I put here is 26770. That's actually over here only. Okay, to me that's still a very conservative target because I shared with you guys that this has a potential to come all the way back to this high around 33470, right? So right now, okay, how we're gonna manage it? Of course, we have shift stops to break even. We're gonna ride it as far as we can. Okay, this is more like a long-term swing, or you can even potentially turn it into an investment idea, right? That's why I share with you that if you are looking at it for longer term, look at ETF alternative, because you wouldn't need to, if you trade the CFDs, you need to pay like commission, overnight fee, right? But if you're doing the ETF, you don't have that pressure to exit this trade because of fee, right? So ETF is one of the way to actually look at that. Okay, and I shared with you guys last week that based on all the equities market, Hang Seng, which is the Hong Kong market, seems to offer the best opportunity, right? The upside room is the biggest compared to like the S&P, the Nasdaq, and etc. Okay. However, we do anticipate some kind of reaction around this region, okay, around 25050. Okay, what kind of reaction is ideally we want to see it more like a corrective structure here. Okay, so if that happens, that's perfect, because for those of you who are not in yet, that's an opportunity to get in. For those of us who are already in, we're going to look to scale in. Okay, because the upside is still huge, right? We want to, every buying opportunity, as long as it's valid, it's high probability, we're going to hop onto it. Okay, so to also look at that from this perspective, it's going to correct over here. It's actually doing a correction just below this structure trend line, okay, which again adds up to that probability, right? So let's take a look as to what's going to happen. Okay, again, right now, as of today, it looks bullish momentum. But with the US election coming in, it's very difficult to anticipate what's going to happen. When the Hong Kong market is closed and the US election is out, it's quite difficult to anticipate like tomorrow morning what's going to happen. Okay, so if you're already in this trade, just shift your stops to break even. If you're not in, be patient, right? The market is going to present us with another opportunity where we can ride onto it. Okay, so nothing much really to update on this. Everything is still intact. The main one is to just shift our stops to break even. Okay, it's a good time to monitor and manage our stops. Okay, so initially we just shift it to break even, right, which is somewhere below here. And we talk about how we are anticipating some kind of reaction at this key zone, right? You can see how price starts to form a consolidation. Okay, and on the lower time frame, we do have this mini. Okay, it's still very early in this period, right? I anticipate kind of like a bigger correction. Okay, but we do have this low here that's been established as of now. Okay, and I would suggest that we can shift our stops to just below this level, around 24630. Okay, of course that would mean quite aggressive in shifting and managing this with the potential of it going higher. Okay, but for me, I'm happy to do that if I get tagged out on this trade with whatever profits I can capitalize on. I'll look for the next opportunity to get it anyway. Okay, so over here, this trade here, we're going to shift our stops to 24630. Okay. In terms of Hang Seng, okay, let's take a look at it. Yesterday, we mentioned that we're going to shift our stops over here to protect our profits. And we are anticipating some kind of reaction from here, right? So we can see it forms a very, very tiny consolidation, and then it continues to go higher. Okay, so what I'm going to suggest, if you're in this trade, okay, what I'm going to suggest is we're going to shift our stops towards just beyond this level here, around 25055, okay, to protect a little bit more profits, because I don't expect this to come down fast and sharp. Okay, we are anticipating this to continue to go higher. From there, this might form a bigger correction before the move to the upside. Okay, so I'm not expecting this to just come down like that. If it does, I'm more than happy to exit this trade and wait. Okay, so quick update on this. Let's shift our stop slightly higher, 25055, to protect more of our profits. Okay, so yesterday it continued to rally, and right now Hang Seng has hit this key zone over here. Okay, and if I were to put in this label, it has completed our expectation. Okay, so this is something you want to be taking note of as well, because we do see a 3-wave up that is completed, which means we might anticipate kind of like a bigger corrective move. before the push to the upside. Okay, and this might coincide with this line here. If you extend that trend line, it might coincide somewhere around here. If you bring in your FIB, likely this is somewhere around the 50% retracement level as well. Okay, so how I would suggest you to manage this trade over here, of course, you know, it's not like this is the best method, okay, but this is how you can consider if you want to protect more profits of it, okay, because we actually enter somewhere around here. Okay, so this profit here is already pretty decent. If you want to protect a little bit more, you can actually look to shift your stops towards this high, right? Just about like 300 ticks higher. Okay, but that is quite significant, right, in terms of percentage of your profit that you're protecting. Okay, but do take note that likely this might form into a bigger corrective pattern. Okay, so none of us, okay, honestly, even I wouldn't know how deep this retracement is gonna be, or is this gonna be a reversal. Okay, nobody knows. But the idea here is based on probability. After a 3-wave move like that, you do expect a bigger corrective pattern. Okay, so you can see this one here, this size, you can expect something like this happening. Okay, so whether this is gonna go deep or it's just gonna go sideways, we need time for the market to tell us, right, what is it likely gonna do. Okay, so I would suggest, okay, I would personally suggest you to shift maybe a little bit more towards this significant low, okay, so that in the event that it does a deeper correction, you are protecting your profits, right? And then if it's still valid, we're gonna look to get in again anyway. Okay, so I'm gonna shift this to 25295. Okay, so take note of that. Okay, so it's just about like close to 300 ticks. Okay, it's not a lot, but in terms of percentage, that's quite a good profit size as well. Okay, so take note of this. Other than that, okay, all this here are still intact. Right, so that's a daily recap, right, to show you how we come into the market every day to look at the position that we have and manage it accordingly. Of course, right now, the Hang Seng Index trade is still running, and we'll definitely continue to monitor its progress, protect our stop loss accordingly as well. Okay, so I hope really this behind the scenes of how we do it from every day, okay, give you some perspective, some insights as to an idea how you can also pick up a thing of two over here and to help you in your progress towards your trading journey. Okay, so for those of you who are keen, if you are someone who is looking for a community, someone to actually guide you in your trading journey, okay, we do have the eSmart Mastermind community. I'll drop the link below in this video description as well. If you're keen, click onto it, find out a little bit more. If this fits what you're looking out for, we do have a 7-day free trial to really join this community and to experience this for yourself if this is for you. Okay, so with that, I'm gonna talk to you in next week's video recap. Have a good trading week ahead.